right, we're live. Let me double check our. Yeah, all right. It's going to need a second here. All right. There we go. We're live.
We're live. It's not Memorex. Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of Making Turbo Pit Fighter. Every Sunday, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Daylight Time. I'm Jake, and Kurt is here, and today we have Alex Turbin. Hey, Alex.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I can hear you loud and clear. We got a lot going on today. So if you're just tuning in, we're a post-apocalyptic comic in the process of being made on the air each and every week, little by little, painstakingly, every panel, every day. Kurt is inking Turbo Pit Fighter #1. He's on the final page, which I believe is page 28.
Yep.
And he does this thing where he's like partially inking the page, and then he goes back later and does all of his final inking and gray tones. I have my old white MacBook set up here today because I'm supposed to be starting the lettering for the Ken Landgraf 6-pager. That's going to be the second appearance of the Casualties, featuring Hellclaw, Chromita, and Esoterra. And Alex is bringing in some
The
Duke materials because he is penciling and inking a 10-pager. And Alex, I think the 10-pager has morphed into an 11-pager, right?
Well, I don't know. That's where we can discuss.
Well, if you're gonna make another page, I say let's put it in. We do need to go over and just tighten up the script because for anybody that's watching this and you want to see a sneak preview, you can go to hellclaw.com/Duke and see the whole story of the Duke from his narratives. And then at the very bottom of that webpage, you can see the script that I'm supplying to Alex so that he can create, look, what you're seeing on the screen there. These wildly intricate adventures of the Duke. We're gonna have some tough decisions when it comes to putting word balloons in there because
Yeah. Well, it's really I've found that because I've done art for a few people's scripts, not many, like the Mutandis, and I think I might have done one other. And it's really kind of it's fascinating how like your artistic sensibilities and my artistic sensibilities, like sometimes I don't really understand what you're wanting. And also, I realize that when you're writing, I feel like you're putting down on the page like pretty much how you would do it, and it like sometimes I feel like I don't understand how like you would do it in the same way that I would do it, so that I can translate it into what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
right, it's a process, and you have two creators that are coming from different perspectives. I mean, one thing we share in common is that we both love black and white independent comics, so that's a great start.
Yeah.
But that's the thing on every collaboration, and sometimes you have a very rigid script and a rigid editor and a rigid publisher, and they're like, no, it's got to be this way or the highway.
Right.
Make sure you're doing it this way, otherwise you have to redo it. And with our process, it's more like, no, you're an experienced, prolific comic creator. I'm a comic creator. What we're trying to do, I call it the zipper merge. Have you ever been going like to the Holland Tunnel and or some place where there's like traffic coming
Yeah.
on the left and the right?
Yeah.
And so and this is also in DNA, I think, when DNA is combined. But you take a little from the left, a little from the right, a little from the left, a little from the right.
That makes me want to die when I'm driving like that.
Well, hopefully the people all right. I mean, that's when you're depending on everybody else to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
efficient, because as soon as somebody wants to dart in
yeah,
front of somebody
yep,
else,
yep. That always happens.
right? So, road rage, right? So, yeah, what I'm trying to do in this process is write out a script, and then as you start to pencil and ink, we're going to adapt things so that they fit in. We have what you want out of this, we have what I want out of this, and then we have what makes sense for a reader.
Yeah, right.
And maybe Kurt can help and represent that, like, hey, this isn't clear, that isn't clear. So what I'm seeing on that page is incredible.
Yeah.
I just wonder how much text I have to put on there later, because
Well,
I know.
I have lettering
Oh, there's some space.
spaces. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
for
Okay.
some lettering. So
Yeah.
whatever was in there. I have a
Great.
question for you. I have a quick question for you though. So you wrote Ken Landgraf's script, right?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I was just about to bring that up here, because I'm doing the word balloons for his pages right now
Yeah,
today,
yeah,
starting that today, and I'm
yeah.
going to be importing the artwork and then literally laying the word balloons on top today.
Right. So I'm wondering, how much of you writing the script, because when I'm doing this, I'm really trying to translate what you're wanting. That's like my main focus. It's not to put my own spin on things. I'm really just trying to get you what you want. And I'm wondering how much of Ken's translated to exactly what you wanted, or how you felt like you wanted it.
We Kurt and I haven't even gone over that yet, and that's going
Oh,
to
you
be
have.
the segment. As soon as we're finished with the Duke, that's going to be
Yeah.
the segment, because when we're doing the lettering, sometimes we change the word balloons. We do
Right.
copy fitting, and we do placement and decisions and everything, and then we talk about the story and whether or not everything's clear. So if
Yeah.
it's not, we might have to add some extra captions or narration,
Right.
because we're not going to be changing the art, obviously, at this point. So you just do everything you can. But I have a feeling that Ken Landgraf, just takes liberties, because
Yeah.
he's Ken
Yeah.
Landgraf,
Yeah.
and he's looking for an aesthetic. I'm really happy with the art, the way it came back, but we haven't like compared it to the script yet, because I haven't
Right.
read
Right.
back the script since I wrote it.
Right.
But we'll be doing that, so that'll be an interesting episode. That'll be an interesting segment. But it's definitely a process, and it's good that you and I and Kurt are um, interfacing, while we're in progress, because
Yep.
you're only a couple pages in,
Yeah.
and I'm actually still scripting. I don't know if you refreshed recently, but I think I got up to page 7 or
Oh, you're on
so.
page 7.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
let's see.
Last I saw you had done page 4.
Right, I started. Okay, so I just start. So page 6 is finished on the page. I'm talking about, the Secret Chronicles of the Duke page, on hellclaw.com, and I just started page 7. Um, but what I have brought in today here is notes for the rest of the 10 pager. So I'm kind of like, this is really cool. I sit in my car because I had a long drive yesterday. I was coming back from the Jersey Shore, and I put in my email program, that I'm about to write an email, but I'm driving the car. So how are you writing an email? I pressed the little microphone button on the iPhone, and then I'm literally just saying all of this verbally to my phone, and it's capturing it all. at the end, I just hit send and send it to myself, and I just printed it out now. So I have a great process for using my time in the car so that I could, think all this through. And I'm ready. So if you want to do this as like a Q&A, where you're asking questions and you're stuck on things that are not clear, we could do that. If you want to just kind of like run through the art, we could do that. I mean, obviously, if the art's done already, we don't want to redo anything. So maybe we take it, we take it as far as we can. But
Wait
where
one
did you?
wait one second. I forgot a page.
Okay. So, for folks that are just tuning in, the Duke is a character in the End of the World timeline, and he's going to premiere in Doom Magazine's #1 sometime this calendar year, alongside the next 6 pages of Turbo and alongside the Ken Landgraf premiere of the Casualties. And Alex, your camera's a little jumpy there for some reason. I don't know if it's you got an earthquake happening.
Could be.
We got some side
no.
effects.
I think
It looks like it's a little herky jerky.
I have no clue
No,
why that is.
maybe there's a tremor happening.
Wow, that's weird.
It's just like
I
that.
don't. Yeah, I don't know.
Your phone is still?
Yeah, phone is completely still. It's in the little tripod thing.
Huh. All right. Well, it's kind of blurry and shaky. Kurt, any suggestions, or you want to just plow through?
Yeah, I have never seen this before, so I don't know what it is. No.
Well,
Okay.
his table's not moving. We know that. And his camera's not moving. Should he maybe come out and come back? That usually.
Yeah.
Can I do that?
Always, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Come on back. So, folks,
I guess I don't know how to get out of this until
just refresh. Just refresh the whole.
No, that seemed to have worked.
Oh, did it?
Right.
Right. Did he do it already? No, it's still jumpy on mine.
Yeah.
Is it still?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, I'm gonna zip out.
Enter the casualties. So I'm.
Yeah. Now it's. I don't know. That was weird. Now, there's always something new with this here technology, but yeah. Yeah, the one thing I was going to add, Jake, to the hiring of said creative, is most of the times you really hope that the person's being hired, just like Ken and Alex, for their past work. So I think it's really up to whoever's hiring somebody, to know what their past work is. And
well, that's when you get hired,
yeah. Because I remember when I was first starting out and sending samples in, and I was a bit all over the place, like really wanted to get work. So I was putting different types of like styles and approaches. But then I'd get to working with somebody, and they would just be like, "Yeah, but can you draw more like Adam Hughes? Can you make it feel more like Adam Hughes? Because he's really hot right now." And I'd be like, "What? Where did I show in my examples that I could be more like Adam Hughes? Where I was always looking for editorial, heads up,
Yeah,
leading
they
me
were waiting for
forward.
AI. They were waiting for AI to come along.
Yeah. But when you and I had gotten together, that was one of the things that really grabbed hold of me, because I can't even remember the first thing I worked on with you. But sent the pages to you. This is all going FedEx. I don't know, maybe there was a phone call, because those things still cost money. But you would send back photocopies, and then it all would be redlined. Like, oh, like what I remember, one of the biggest things that stuck with me getting editorial notes from you was variation of background textures. And I think we probably both spent like $15 on a long distance phone call, just getting that across to me. Like, yeah, I get you, Kurt. Like the whole oval for the stone and like the wood plank, but can we come up with something like this? Or I was like, wow, now that's some depth and feedback and focus.
Okay, yeah.
I'm back. Are you guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good? Yeah, okay. You're good, Alex. Welcome back. Yeah, it seemed to remedy the shakes there.
Yeah, but now I'm not landscape.
Yeah, just keep rolling. Keep rolling. We're all
right. It's
okay.
You're going to be in a little strip anyway. You're going to be in a vertical strip anyway.
Yeah.
Unless Kurt centers you, then
I think it was some kind of setting I might have accidentally hit or something.
Yeah, the shaky
on my
setting.
Phone. the shaky setting.
The shaky setting. I've done that before. The shaky setting. The special effects.
All right. So, do you want to go through page 1, or do you want to start from the extra page that could be?
Wherever you want to start. Like you this is all about giving you guidance, and if page 1 is done, basically it opens on the Duke is in the middle of a battle, and he's blowing up robots, and he's invading this underground bunker fortress type thing. Right. And so it looks like that's what you got there. I see down at the bottom you have his companions are appearing up in the air, because they're on the communication platform with him.
Right.
Right. So that pretty much follows the breakdowns.
I missed something. I can't remember what it was that I missed, but I missed a panel or something.
You missed a panel.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we don't want to redo anything. So moving on to page 2. So
here's the thing. Here's the thing. I did page 2. I drew it all, and then I started inking it, and then I really was digging the DeHuberton. What's his name again?
I think, is that Harrisford?
Yeah, Harrisford. I was really digging Harrisford and all the tubes and stuff, and I'm like, we need to introduce him in a kind of a bigger way. So I was like, I had the page all done, and I had this inking halfway done, and in this final one, the final page, or the final panel rather, the Duke blasts Harrington's head, blows his head open, and then it goes to pages. The next page shows the Duke and Harrington, and they're discussing the previous. It's kind of a flashback a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I really need a full page or a half page or something that really shows, because I'm really liking him as a character and as a design, everything. So I have him, and the last panel of is the Duke blasting him in the head. Instead of the last panel of page 2, I have him just aiming the gun. So aim the gun, show the full figure of Harrington, and then blast him with the his gun. So you like I was saying, you could either incorporate that into the 10 pages, or I could turn this page into the last panel of this page.
I don't think that'll shrink all down. I mean, that's a almost a full page. It's like 2/3 of a page right there.
Right,
So,
right.
right.
I was
Yeah.
thinking,
So
well,
yeah, we have space for another page as long as we don't. I mean, if it's as long as we make our deadline and as long as it carries the story, I'm okay with making it an 11 pager.
right.
I brought up the script here, and we can we can just kind of like rip through it here. But basically, it's page one. If you want to put page one back up there, so Kurt, this way you can kind of see how the process is going between the two of us knuckleheads. Page one, but large montage of the Duke in a stealth battlesuit with night vision, shooting and fighting well-armed high-tech bots. He has emerged from a secret tunnel into a control room with large maps of North America on big
That's
screen.
that's what I missed because I just could not get. I couldn't get all of that onto the page. Like that's what I'm pretty much talking about when I'm talking about your sensibilities and the way that you would draw it and the way I would draw it. You like really packed the page full of stuff, way more than I usually do. So I was kind of struggling with, figuring out how to get that much information onto the page.
Yeah,
So
well,
I couldn't do that.
you have packed the page pretty much.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it's
uh,
packed.
so that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, don't worry about. I would say, just let's power through and don't worry about, like, if you miss something here, you miss something there. If it's crucial to the story, but if it's like,
Right,
oh, it doesn't have a
right.
map of North America in the background. Okay, we can we can continue on.
Yeah.
But I did send Kurt. I'm a big fan of Paul Galassi montages. So I
Oh
thought this,
yeah.
yeah. So I thought this first panel would be like something like a montage where you just like show, generalized, you know, instances of what's going on, and people understand that, there's more to the story. We're just not showing it all here.
Right,
Alex did the most interesting thing I ever saw. He has the Duke multiple times in the montage, like,
right,
so he's like killing like robots in like three different examples in this montage. So I mean, I love the unexpected result that we're getting here, and so I think it's a great panel, great page, a lot to look at, and it still carries the story that he's having all these battles with robots.
right.
It says, let's see, drones are flying around, zapping each other,
Which is there.
floating, yeah, floating ominously above, shaking a mechanical fist, is Harrisford D. Huberton, 150 years old, with his shriveled, wrinkly face set into a robot exoskeleton host frame.
Right,
His
right.
other,
Which I have here, which we talked about.
there he is. He's in silhouette, right? His
Yeah,
other gnarled hand controls a futuristic wire harness that converts his finger movements into keyboard commands. And so it's
I don't
okay if
have
we
that.
see, yeah, we could see this stuff later. That's okay. Um,
Right.
Bloody goons lay around, slain, along with busted up combat robots. Other possible
Yeah,
characters for montage: the drone smith, the mink, Atisha Bibbins, Lorenzo, Renzo Scorlini, and random combat bots. So we have a great montage there. Now there's supposed to be two small panels at the bottom because the whole top of the page was supposed to be the big montage. The narration says it wasn't just because they killed his brother; it was because they killed everyone and anyone. Um, Small panel number two: the Duke blasts two goons from a narrow tunnel. Drones hover behind him, and the caption from the drone smith is "two around left corner," and sound effects: shkow, shkow. Um, then it says, drone smith. There's supposed to be like a word balloon straddling the panel gutter between
right.
2 and 3. and a big 906 on the right. This means you're in the belly of the beast. Small panel 3. Duke blasts a huge combat bot's power supply. Parts fly everywhere with impact. Ka-chow. Did you seal the tunnel behind me? Dronesmith, copy. 10 seconds to detonate.
Right.
So small panel. So the small panel 3 there. Instead, we see the drone is the Duke is kind of just talking with his compatriots.
Right.
All right, well, that's cool. You, instead of putting them up in the montage, you have them down in the panel there.
Right. Right. Yeah, I was pretty confused. The montage, I guess.
Yeah, well, I sent you the examples to see what
Right.
what I
Right.
would input. Yeah. All right. So page 2. Let's move on to page 2. It says 5 stacked horizontal panels. Number 1, explosion at the left, caving in the tunnel. Debris and smoke all about. Duke is bracing for impact, leaning right, reloading ammo as more drones fly towards a heavily fortified door at right.
Right.
Is this in reverse? Because I see the explosion at the right, and he's leaning
Yeah.
towards the left.
Yeah. I guess you're seeing it on the right, on reverse.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, right, okay. I'm like, all of a sudden this went Japanese. um, so sound effects, kavow. Duke, this is it, Dronesmith. The last barrier before the inner chamber. Dronesmith, get ready to fire. That door is coming off. Reading 2 security bots inside and a faint heat signature. Duke, that's him. Panel number 2. Shot of a creepy inner chamber with tech and data monitors lining the walls. The door is blasted off by 2 C4 impact drones, debris flying everywhere as Duke dramatically lunges forward, shooting with 2 hands and blasting apart 2 security bots. Yeah, so if I say like 2 bots and you only do 1, that's fine. But however you lay out the action, you get the
I think there's two there. They're just kind of
okay.
that's the penciled stuff.
Right, but just so you say, just this isn't like the word of God. This is like a collaborator
Right.
laying out the preliminary script for you to do your art. So,
Yeah.
um, at extreme right in the foreground is half the face of Harrisford D. Huberton, looking left with beady, wrinkled eyes. 2 more drones hover ahead. All right, yeah. So one thing, if you can, he's supposed to be 150 years old. So maybe if you could wrinkle him up more, or maybe if we could do that in a later stage. Yeah,
Well, do you think
because
this is wrinkly enough? I could certainly add more wrinkles.
yeah, um, yeah, we have to imagine what people are going to look like at 150 years old. Maybe he
Yeah.
has like skin emoluments that that oil of Olay, but maybe not. So 2 more drones hover overhead. Sound effect, gracked, skew. Dronesmith, positive ID on Harrisford D. Huberton, age 151, not seen publicly in 57 years. So there we're just like spelling it out so the reader knows what we know. Panel
Right.
3. Looking over Duke's shoulder as he points a blaster at wrinkly old Harrisford, part human and part machine, embedded into a high-tech wheelchair with medical tubes and wires everywhere. He is way
I
back
don't
in
have
a deep...
wheelchair.
What's that?
I don't have him in
Right.
the wheelchair. I just have him in a chair. I can change that.
Yeah, he should have some just like controls in his chair so
Yeah.
that he can operate all of these things. Like he's not just operating the robots in the room, he's operating robots all over the world.
Right. Well, that's kind of what I was thinking. These tubes running from his brain and in his whole body are like a control thing for all of the stuff that he's doing.
Right. But he definitely is doing something with his hands too.
Yeah.
He is way back in a deep perspective shot, looking small and vulnerable in his robo chair as the drones encircle him.
I could put
Harrisford.
some drones
So
in.
Yeah. Heresford. So, someone finally breaches my inner sanctum. Impressive, but you'll never get out alive. Duke, you killed my brother. It's your turn now. We have a name for the brother now.
Okay, cool.
What? Yeah, his Spyros. The brother's name is Spyros. Spyros. Um,
Spyros?
Yeah. Well, I think it's pronounced Spiros. Spiros.
Spyros?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Panel 4, close-up shot of the Duke knitting his brows in anger as he levels his blaster towards the camera. Harrisford, your brother, another nobody, a speck of dirt standing in the way of our progress. Duke, we were a happy family. I actually enjoyed my life till you sent in the U-1Ws to kill us. Duke, panel 5, Duke blasts his head into bloody and liquefied
Right.
fragments at close range.
Right. So do you want to change that to that panel instead?
Well, where does he get his head blasted?
Right here.
Oh, down at the bottom. All right. Well,
Right.
if that's going
Because
to be
this
extra,
this panel was him having his head blasted open, but instead I'm going to have him just like pointing, and maybe you could have him say something tough, and then like
no,
it's
well,
just
that's
there.
great because we could. Yeah, it's great if we could redistribute some of the heavy text from elsewhere down into
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now we'll have the extra page where he's making his last minute, dialogue, and then the Duke will blast his head apart at the bottom.
Right.
Okay, so then we'll go to page 3, which is now page 4. It says large tableau panel with apparitions of Duke's face at the top left and a younger Harrisford looking sinister at top right. In the center, a triangle formation of 5 sad, frowning figures, each with captions: a worker, a child, a pregnant woman, a senior, and a scientist looking away in shame. At the bottom center, the top of the eyes and the forehead of a squinting, grim law enforcer, like a cop or military look, close up in shadowy tones. So this is where I put in your suggestion that we wanted to see how the bad guy, why was he bad, what was he doing bad, what are some examples, and so we're going to
Right.
see how he impacted everybody's life in this world. Um, Duke, a world of slavery, death, and blackmail. Caption: living under life plan means economical slavery for workers. Caption: it means rampant child abduction, generations of mass traumatization. Caption: it means forced impregnation, infanticide, and eugenics. Caption: a world of elder abuse and systematic pay to live blackmail, longevity blackmail. Caption: scientists imprisoned in labs, forced to pervert nature, commit all manner of atrocities.
Right.
And then at the very bottom, caption: and law enforcers, once proud soldiers, cops, and emergency responders, all forced into a corporate loyalty pledge. So that that panel is going to be very important because it sets up how bad the entire world has gotten,
Yeah. Yeah.
for the whole timeline. So there's a lot of heavy lifting there. Panel number 3. Oh no, why does it say 3? It should be 2 there. Okay, I have
Right.
that.
That's why. Yeah, there was a little bit of a faux pas there, I think. So I
Yeah,
just did 3 panels on the page instead of 4.
yeah, good. All right. Well, that was my mistake. So I'm changing it now in the script, so it'll be updated in the
Okay.
script. So 2, young Duke on a South Dakota hillside, looking slim and lean, with his big brothers scruffing his hair aside their air bikes, and others flying around behind them. Caption: I was a carefree kid, tagging along on air patrols with my brothers. Life was simple above the cliffs of the South Dakota Badlands. Brother, ready squirt, there's an unmanned air train 20 miles away. I have names for the brothers too. There's going to be Spiros and Niklos, and we know about Renzo, and we know about Duke, And I think there was one more, but I don't remember it. It's down. It'll come later in the text. Young Duke, thought you'd never ask. Panel 3, American Gothic style image of Duke's father, Vito Scorlini, in dirty overalls holding a forked wrench-like tool, and his mother, Haven Amarilla Duca, standing proudly in front of their Duca Vita air bike factory hangar with the Duca Vita bat logo painted atop. The bottom of the panel shows a newspaper clipping. Caption: Mom and Dad were still in the early days, growing the air bike company with ultra-compact Q-resin engines. Me and my brothers were happy to test drive the products on our nightly raids. Newspaper clip headline: Nano-fuel brick patent powers SD fly cycle startup. So now we're on to page 4. Are
Right.
you on to 4 already?
So this would be 5.
Right, page 5. Right.
That
So
would be 5. Yeah. No, I haven't started anything for that.
Okay, I'm gonna change the page numbers while we're here, and page 5
So the thing
becomes
that I was saying was that if you didn't want this page at all, then I would print this in random access, and then that's when I could superimpose that one onto this page. So you don't have to have 11 pages if you don't want. We just wouldn't have this and would put this on here.
no. Let's have the 11 pages, and
Okay.
so we can move on from here. Um, I'm just renumbering these pages in the script so that we don't get confused later. Page. So now this one goes to 11.
Have you? So we were talking about the sky bikes. Have you seen the new the new sky cycle that's not a doesn't have propellers?
Talk about in real life.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna break out a sketch.
No,
No, I
no.
did.
You
How does it
haven't seen it?
run? No.
I don't know. I mean, it must be jets of some sort, right?
Yeah, but that's really energy intensive for liftoff and
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sustaining. So I've been looking into it a little bit, and it looks like the future will have to be some combination of that. But I have this idea where they have these Q resin blocks where they're going to be able to get bursts of energy from little pellets because it's funny. Hey Kurt, have you ever like asked AI something and because you're trying to do some research about actual science, and then like AI says, that's a really interesting idea, right? And I'm like, all right, they're just souping you up. Like, they're just telling the user, like, oh wow, what a great twist. Like, no, shut up. I know you're just like, telling people what what you think they want to hear. But then you look it up and it's like, yeah, it actually is an emerging field of research. Like my question in this case was, what happens if they take fossil fuels and they condense it into like highly compressed pressurized form, because that's basically what fossil fuel already is. And what happens if you just condense it either further, because you can use heat and pressure to like pack it in like a little diamond of oil or energy or natural gas or whatever. And then if you put that in an engine, in the flow of a regular fuel, you could have this like extra burst, like a nitro burst or something. So that's the quasi scientific basis of the air cycles, that they'll be able to take off and get that extra burst of energy using Q resin particles.
Well, my thing is
Um,
with the hover bike, that video that you saw, most definitely, I would assume it to be AI generated, and it's something that verifying whatever we see is going to become such a
with that
Yeah,
difficult
in mind.
thing, It's not even going to be difficult for the individual, but like I'm bringing it up, Alex, only to sort of like suggest that we could possibly get into an argument whether it's real or not. You know what I mean? Where, unless that video is connected to supporting data, from an actual foundation or, manufacturing site, then it's fiction. Right. You know what I mean? Like I look at everything online now, especially through social media. It's all fiction. Wife is always showing me shit. I'm like, it's fiction. She's like, no, it's right there. It's fiction. Verify it. I go, verify it. Verify it. Well, it's right here. Well, that's the other thing. That don't mean shit that it's there.
Right. And Kurt, even if it is from a manufacturer, it could be vaporware. It could be like, oh, we got a demo, but that doesn't mean we're going to be able to scale this thing up for every.
No, exactly. Right. Yeah, I mean, it really just pushes us into the questioning. Question everything. Trust nothing. That whole saying. But the first part of that is like, use the fact that you don't know or understand what it is you see first. And then if it's that interesting, then verify it, Right, and I think, and that goes even back to over what Jake is saying about using AI. I mean, I use Google's Gemini pretty much all day now. Like that's pretty much, I actually just used it for a question while you guys were talking. Because it should be just giving us, verified or validated information. But my point is really like fiction. That's like we're living in officially a sci-fi movie. So, but I'm gonna look it up though.
And Kurt, so with that, what Alex is saying is just as good as if it was real. So let's hear what he has to say. What's up with the bikes?
Yeah. So
what did you see?
I just thought it was a couple of articles and stuff about this new sky bike. I don't know how new it is, but I guess it's like I don't know how far it goes or anything. But I guess they're $800,000. You can purchase one. Apparently, I mean it's completely possible that it's some kind of CGI AI kind of thing. And it's funny because whenever I saw those Boston Dynamics robots doing their jumps and stuff, I'm like, that's got to be AI, right? But it's not, right?
Well, it's animation. No. The other thing too, Jake, I thought you were going to say was like, there's nothing stopping somebody shooting something in its testing phase, handing it over to, a promotions company, a marketing company. They filter it through AI and they give it this way more scientific, fantasy glorified sci-fi treatment. Like I said, it's like it's very much going to be that way moving forward.
Yeah. So, it's going to take some major lawsuits where there's already companies really suing or they're putting what is it? There's some movies or something that are coming out that are having at the end of the credits some warning about AI learning. Like it's not, they're not allowing it or something. So
yeah, there's a big
you're right, Alex.
Definitely.
You're right,
definitely
Alex.
A big controversy.
Yeah.
So if we have if you have any ideas for we had a discussion where we were talking about the parachute suits, right, where you could jump out of if you get knocked out of your air cycle, you're okay. You're going to be able to activate your suit and glide down to safety, and maybe even have a parachute, in there too. So we spoke about technology. They're good discussions to have, even if we don't use it in this script. It'll be in this story, it'll be in this Duke storyline for sure. So
cool.
All good. So you got those. It was 3 pages, but it's now 4 pages, right? And then you'll when you're doing new pages, you'll refer back to the script. So
Yep.
yeah. So what are some other outstanding questions then? Because it looks like things are coming along.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just it was my this was the big one with the extra page if you wanted it or not. Um and then yeah, that's pretty much it. And the panel that I missed or the scene I missed, which it was just it's already pretty packed. It's just a dilemma packing the page with so much information.
Right. Yeah, it is tough because it was a 10 pager as opposed to a whole comic, but um, but it's good. It'll go in with the flow of our book, because they're very packed, dense pages, a lot to see, a little bit larger print size, and
Yeah.
and a lot of this stuff alludes to the world and the writing on other formats like the Substack or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean I think it's coming along good.
Yeah, good. So we
Now,
well in I can go.
Alex,
What's the matter?
Alex, when since you're going to have this in random access, you're gonna bring the pages to completion. Now, the last
Yep.
time we were talking about this, you were speaking towards watercoloring. Is that still something you're thinking about? And then we would,
No,
you would send.
I'll digital color it.
Oh, okay, okay.
If and or
So
I'm assuming I'll do that.
there will be inked pages then
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Like, so that'll be okay. All right. Yeah, because we still do need to work out. Jake had made a statement that was not completely true, because the last conversation I was remembering was that you were speaking to the watercoloring of the pages. And it would probably be because we started this out as like an 8-pager and we're already up to 11. So I can completely,
it's going to be 56 pages.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's going to be 2027. But, but the, the excitement was the collaborating in a variant way between the two stories, that if somebody wanted to get both versions, then they felt like they were getting two solid separate versions,
Right.
Random access, and then Doom Magazine's #1. So I still
Right.
want to keep that as a conversation, especially between you and I, since I would be creating a variant version. Now, Jake had said something that I was going to do my distressed look, tone, and texture, which I can't do at this point, scheduling. So I would have to do a treatment on top of your completed pages that I would like print out, and is what I'm thinking. Maybe even in full color, play around with some colors and stuff. Then we would print it black and white, and there would still be a third variant version as a colored version. So I still, like I said, I still want to keep that open, as a dialogue for completing the pages. So don't feel like you're out on your own when it comes down to that.
Oh, that's perfectly fine. I mean, I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm gonna do the coloring and whatever, however it ends up. So that'll be like my version, and then I'll send you the pages, and you guys can do whatever you want to, and that'll be your version, pretty much.
Okay.
So, like I said,
good.
I'm just playing around in your guys's playground, I guess.
Yeah. No, love having you.
So I have the action here. If you want to go over it while we have you here, it's going to be the last couple of pages. This kind of skips ahead a little bit, but there's going to be, or maybe we could just save this for another time. But basically, the end of the 11-pager will be when the drone smith is killed. That will trigger the unleashing the distraction, and the distraction is going to be the giant. It's either a robo suit or a War of the Worlds, contraption with like I think they call them tripods in the War of the Worlds.
Yeah, yeah.
I just saw that new War of the Worlds remake with Ice Cube.
Is it horrible? They're saying it's horrible.
It's really like low budget, like because it's mostly from his desk looking at things through video monitors,
Huh.
and and like looking at things through news clips. It was kind of interesting, as a concept, for making a movie. And they did have some CGI action in there, but they definitely cheaped out because they made it all from, the perspective of a guy's, bank of monitors. He was like supposed to be this, high level Department of Homeland Security, guy with all the clearances, and he was trying to save his family. But it gets really, really campy. So if and like just kind of like by the time the credits roll, they just play like funny music and stuff, and it's just like, hey man, we're just going with it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but the classic story of the War of the Worlds has those big tripods, and the design of them in the movie was really cool. And we are going to have to design some kind of giant mechanism that's like 10 stories high and has the Duke in the cockpit, controlling everything, or so we
Right.
think. But other than that, it could be any kind of design. And I'm just thinking, like, what do the readers want to see? Do they want to see a giant Gundam? Do they want to see a big, tripod? Do they want to see something
Right.
else?
Right. Well,
Um,
here's my question though. Like we're saying that that they think that it's him in the back or whatever.
in the
How
cockpit,
would
yeah.
we convey that that they think it's him, um, other than maybe having some sort of three-dimensional hologram? Like they could have some sort of hologram in front of him, saying "I'm coming for you" or something like that. Um, but like, how important is it that like it's a diversion? Does it really
Yeah.
have to be a representative of him?
Yes, it's designed to be him. In fact, let me read this to you so you get an idea. I'm just going to take it from the part where the drone smith is killed. Um, it's going to be okay. The Duke's tells Jester is the AI bot that's always on Duke's headset. Jester, send out a warning on Cyberfiber. Only the Tuesday channel 96. Use the hashtag #UpDownFlag. Panel. Giant shot of the disruptor. The distraction. Emerged from its sandy hiding hole in the shadow of the big city and the De Huberton Tower headquarters. Duke, give a 10-minute warning and tell them to get ready at choke points to pick up reinforcements through all side streets. So there's a close up of action, and it's clearly Duke manning the controls. It's an automaton meant to look like Duke, basically like a wax figure robot that has limited motion. Page 10. This is the last page. Well, this is I think this will be page 11 now. The the Duke turns a corner and faces a whole bunch of robots and an old De Huberton matron who has a gun to the head of the little sister of the mink. Duke is recoiling, stopping in his tracks. Matron, so if you're who I think you are, you'll be interested to know that the insert the name of the mink's real name sister didn't know that you were fucking her older sister as you came to murder her whole family. So we're gonna change that language a little bit, but the Duke is going to encounter the mink's baby sister in this siege, and then this is right where the cliffhanger goes. In the meantime, and then in the last panel, The distraction is coming through the canyon of skyscrapers toward the Dehuberton headquarters tower in the most central downtown location of the big city. There are drones left and right and security vehicles all around. His arm is raised in the air and the loudspeakers are blaring, "Take on the fight. Now is the time to take on the fight." My printout cut off, so that was annoying. Let me see what it really says. So the whole point of the distraction is to inspire the people to
Right.
stand up
Right.
and rise up. So um, it's okay if it's not the most efficient fighting weapon. It's mainly meant to just be on the news and get covered and be a distraction and to inspire people and like that. So
Right. Well, how do you feel about it? Like the giant mech creature holding out his hand, and that's where a hologram of the Duke talking to them sounds.
well, I had him in the cockpit because he wants to make everybody think that he dies in this attack.
Right.
So if it's a
Right. But
hologram,
we could have him in the cockpit, but it could be like a pre-recorded message of a hologram. Or we could actually show him in the cockpit as the hologram. I'm just
right,
like thinking of different
there
ways
will
to convey that it's him.
right. Well, there will be news cameras that zoom in, and they'll see him in the cockpit,
All
and
right.
the loudspeaker is broadcasting his message for sure. So I think we're covered, for
Okay.
that,
Okay.
and
Just just
yeah,
make sure when
and
you're
and
just make sure
go
when
ahead.
you're writing it that I have plenty of space. If I'm doing a big mech robot, like I need plenty of space to be able to do it.
Yeah, there's only two panels on that page. The
Okay.
first
Cool.
panel is when he turns the corner and he gets, he comes into the stalemate of the gun to the head of the little sister, and he'll have the mink on his headset, so she'll know what's going on too.
Cool.
And we have to
Cool.
come up with a little name for. Oh, I have a name for the little kid. The little kid is going to be named Satara. And yeah, so the last panel, just so you have an idea of what's coming your way. Um, it'll say, "Oh, I have it right here. This distraction is right. There's air motorcycle positions engaging the firefight around the side streets. The Duke is clear to see in the cockpit with his arm in the air, defiant. Drones fly around. Loudspeaker. This is the Duke. The time is nigh. Time to take on the fight. Take on the fight. This is the Duke telling you it's time to take on the fight." And sound effects, batoom, batoom, batoom. Like they're already exchanging heavy fire, and the shielding of the Dehuberton headquarters is starting to crumble. And then there will be a little like reporter, and we don't even need to show him, but he'll be in a little narration panel. "This is Vitrini coming live from WVCR with live pictures of what appears to be a frontal attack on the Dehuberton HQ West Tower in Western Square. It looks like a 10-story automaton, and the Duke appears to be at the controls, serving up heavy fire to the facade of the tower. Return fires being reported as the shielding uh, crumbles. Security units on the ground and in the air are encountering Shanghai attacks from biker cults, continuing today's multi site engagement because this is a Tuesday attack that is coinciding with this. Stay tuned right here, folks. Not sure what's coming next, but the automaton is approaching fast. This is going to be all out destructo madness." And that's how it ends.
Cool. Cool. That'll be awesome.
So I do need to just tighten the script up a little because when you're dictating it has a lot of typos.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, what
Yeah.
the hell was I saying? But it's pretty good time saver though. And so so I think things are coming along.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. All right. So You guys are doing your. What are you guys doing next?
We've got 15 minutes to end time because we've got an interview with Brett Cantrell. But we're good. We're good. We got. I mean, Jake, you are set up pretty well with laying in text, so we can pick up. We can pick that back up tomorrow. Excuse me, next Sunday. So
I'm doing it right here, right now. I'm starting
yeah,
it.
cool. Yeah, no, we're looking good. We're looking good.
Yeah,
All is well.
I need some horizontal scaling for sure. Yeah, so this is I'm just gonna be like I'm gonna have to open up Ken's artwork and do some title captions here because I'm not. This is supposed to say enter the casualties, and I'm not doing that in font. No way. I got it. This is a whole little piece right here that's going to say that. So I need to go into Photoshop and do that. I'm going to do the lettering in Photoshop, but it will be like big. So it'll be like this, and it'll be centered. So it's got to be like super cool, like Jack Kirby. And then up here, so I'm just starting to lay in the captions, and here I have all of the text from the script. So I just copy and paste it in here. And I don't have word balloons, so how are we going to do the actual word balloons? Because the lettering is the easy part, but we're going to have.
I can generate them as a separate layer.
Yeah.
Which is no biggie. I mean, and yeah. So yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is the placement of text. Then, once you have all that done, we'll print them out and we'll both have copies for it. And I'll make notations of what's a narration, what's a dialogue, what's a, monologue, just so that the boxes are, copacetic to indicate what is being said.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm putting some tints in the boxes too. Alex, when you're doing your lettering, you use a computer font, but what about your word balloons? How do you do that?
I drew them out and then I cut and paste them in. And I manipulate them, to whatever size I need.
So there's no word balloons on the art.
Oh, on this stuff? Yeah, there is. Yeah, I put in word balloons. Like here's where they're saying certain things.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay.
And I gave to Hubert in like a rough. I don't know what you call it. A rough word balloon.
Gravelly. We call that gravelly.
Gravelly.
Gravelly. Yes.
When your voice is that a real term?
Yes.
It is now.
It's a real literary term for somebody whose voice is very old and messed up.
Right. But the word balloon type where it's all crooked and messed up.
Yeah, that it's a visual to convey that the voice is gravelly.
Right. Cool. Yeah.
If you gargle with broken glass and whiskey, that's how your voice.
I'm trying to think of some of the comics that have done that. Like Dark Knight has a little bit of that, but not super much.
Oh, I think a million comics probably do that.
Yeah.
Like even if it's just two girls talking to each other in a manga. If one of them is like cold and icy, they'll have like icicles falling from the word balloon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty common. So whatever visual language conveys the story.
Yeah. So
doing good. It doesn't look like we're gonna have I had an agreement with a young artist to do a 6-pager for a script called The Company Man, which was another storyline in the world here, but it doesn't. He hasn't been very communicative, so I'm assuming he's not going to turn in artwork in time. So it looks like we're going to be um, having maybe like 6 to 8 pages of zine content, which is good. We can have all the pros from the Substack come over and have a lot of illustrations. That'll be great.
Have you asked any other artists if they'd like to do it?
Yeah, there was this one guy that we met at IC3, and I was talking to him a little bit afterwards, and we came to an agreement that he was going to do a 6-pager,
Right,
and
right.
I told him we needed it by like October, November ish. I need the artwork so we can do all the word balloons and everything. And I haven't heard back in a while. He posted a picture on his Instagram, but I think the 20 somethings today, they don't pick up the phone or anything. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, no, you don't. But you don't just contact any other artists. Like that's what I do to. I'm having more and more artists join Random Access. So I see somebody on Instagram's art that I like. I'm like, hey, you want to do this? You want to join the club or whatever?
yeah, that we are definitely open to that. And we've been talking to people and offering it up to people. But
Yeah,
for this project, this book right now, I mean, so it's great. Like, Kurt has a lot of irons in the fire for Crom and a different timetable. But when you're publishing, a certain, you know, edition with a certain number of pages and, certain number of, stories in there, everything's got to come together by the deadline. So
yeah, yeah,
I like to work. I like to be able to offer to work to people without deadlines at all. But if you are planning to be in the next book, then there's a deadline. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
otherwise, otherwise, just make it and put it out whenever. It's so if it's not in this year's book, it'll be in next year's book.
So
And
you're planning on doing one a year? One of these Do Mag
well,
anthologies?
we're planning on putting out the next 6 pages plus the Duke plus the Landgraf plus the Chromita plus the zine pages, and we were going to do the Company Man, which is a very cool script, but it looks like that's not going to be ready. So we'll fill up with the zine pages. We were also considering the 6 pages of all pencils, and Kurt was suggesting, why don't we run the 12 pages just pencils that precedes the latest 6-pager for the Turbo story? And I was like, I don't know about that, because it seems weird to go from pencils to inks. It would definitely be a novel concept, but
Yeah.
I think we'd be better off having the first 6 pages just pencils of the next issue number 2.
Yeah, yeah.
And call that a spoiler special.
So to answer your question, Alex, yes, once a year at
Once a
minimum.
year.
Because I'm at a place right now where me sitting down consistently for the next maybe 2 months, I could have issue 1 completed ink-wise, especially once I get this page in my 80% skeletal inking line work thing. Really at that point, I do my gray value washing, and then I just start playing with the black, white, and then the gray values in tone and texture. But, we also want to collaborate, and you and Ken Landgraf and the other individual were sort of like, okay, let's lock this in, and who shows up. And we just last week, Jake and I started talking about creating harder deadlines, mainly for ourselves, and giving you a heads up, giving you a heads up as well. But the nice part about collaborating with you, Alex, is that you're making this for yourself, for your own Random Access comic. Which, by the way, everybody, Alex has his own YouTube channel. I'm a huge fan. Most times, Alex, you're with me at breakfast, flipping through your comic book collection. I love it. Or you're with Joe Leonardo on your East Coast, West Coast. So shouts out to if you guys are in the comic books, making them, following stuff. Alex has an amazing channel and really dives down into some great stuff. I also want to put on the record, my man, your color work is leveling you up. I literally saw that cover of Random Access and went, well, who the heck did he get do that? And then I found out it was you, and I'm like, well, get that guy doing everything.
Which one? This one?
That one right there, man. Yeah. That is
the thing is, I have a problem though, because this is oil painted.
That's fine. Go to acrylic. Translate it to acrylic or watercolor.
No, I usually do. I used to do a lot of acrylics, and I didn't do any oil color. I'm switching over to oil color just because it blends a little bit better for me. But my biggest problem is that this doesn't look like the original. Like whenever I've done a painting,
for printing,
I can't get the printing to look the same.
No,
it's tough.
Forget that.
It's tough. It's tough. You got to let it go. Yeah. But the thing about it, and this is just a technical piece of feedback, Alex, is that you have a heavier understanding in the finished work for values than in your pen and ink. Like your pen and ink is pretty sparse, on the page. Yeah. But when you work, I would love to see you paint an entire comic, print it black and white, just to be able to see the gray value, just for you to see the gray values, because I think it would set a light off in your head. And then, like I'm doing with some work for World Anthology, I'm starting to work in color just to do the same thing in a black and white printed version, and then down the road collect everything into a color version. So, you're between the watercolors that you were doing earlier this year and the that cover, that is some just spot on work, man. And
thank you.
Yeah.
Another problem with the painting is that I'm not a painter, so that's not my.
Yeah, you are. Well, you're painting.
It's not my love though. It's like sculpting. I'll go through a period where I'm like, I'm really into this for a month, and then I'm like, I got to draw some comics.
Right.
Yeah, so that's like my real thing, and then I'll just kind of divert for a month. But that also leaves a lot of challenges of technical knowledge, and just if you do something enough, then you get better at it. So I just don't have that. I don't know that knowledge, I guess, or the time spent doing it.
Exactly. You just have to spend the time doing it. And you have to have the passion. But
that's the thing.
My distressed looking, tone and texture value thing is all out of my painting degree. That's everything I learned, because I don't want the mess of setting up an easel and the paint palette and the cleaning and the turpentine. And I just don't want to do that anymore. So I've been translating my skills into, the paint markers are a huge thing now. There's paintbrush markers, just paint markers in general. Love color pencils, gouache, it's just, and the best thing about comics, this, is that when you have fun, it comes across in the pages.
Oh yeah,
and that's what I could see. That's what I could see in that cover.
Doing this, and I love that.
Yeah, you could see it. You could see it. So, kudos to you. But hey, Jake, we need to shut this down. We got 2 more minutes, so we give ourselves some time, because we do have a comics. What was it? An indie creator.
Yeah, Indie Creator Exchange coming up. And what's the comic that the creator created?
Did we lose Kurt?
Did we lose him?
I think we lost his sound.
He was so excited. He just
I know. At least he doesn't have a wobbly camera.
Right.
So I guess
So
he must know. Yeah.
hello. Right. All right. Oh, we're doing the blue cat. Yeah, I have that stuff. Okay, let me grab my copies. So yeah, we're yeah, good hooking up with you, Alex. You know, like what you're
Yeah,
talking
like
about.
always.
We need to be doing that more. So if you know anybody that you know, that want free scripts, that's what we offer. We got plenty of free scripts here, and
Cool.
you know,
Cool.
bring them into the fold. I don't know. You know, you got to have a somewhat compatible tastes, you know, with the sci-fi. This is definitely all sci-fi, but we also have we're not getting Kurt back here. You know, we I don't know if we announced it yet. I might be doing a spoiler here, but we have this really interesting kung fu 10 pager that's in the works, and we're going to integrate it into our sci-fi story. Oh, did he just text? He wrote, "You have 1 minute." He has a mic issue. Okay. Um. So can't wait to start working on that too. We're gonna have a little bit of a challenge on our hands because we have some, believe it or not, abandoned artwork from an unknown creator circa probably the 70s, and we're going to be using that artwork to fold it into our storyline about the post-apocalyptic future that we're headed towards. But we'll have more on that later. And
Cool. Cool.
yeah, so thanks for coming aboard. And I'll see you. You know, just feel free to text me on the phone anyway, anytime, anyway. You know,
Okay.
the other apps I don't really get to a lot. I have like Instagram on the Doom Mags account, and I might check that like once or twice a week only.
Yeah. 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 No, it's fun though. It's fun.
Yep. All right. Yeah, it's good to be in touch with somebody. So, folks, if you're listening, we have Comics That Influence, our other channel. You can see it on our YouTube homepage. Just look at the videos and the playlists. We also have our Indie Creator Exchange, which we're about to go tape an episode of. And otherwise, see you guys right back here on Making Turbo Pit Fighter every Sunday. We're live on YouTube, and feel free to add anything you want into the comments if you have anything to say. Any critiques, criticisms, suggestions, you could tell us to go flip ourselves. Uh, it's all good. But that's it, and we'll see you again, Alex. Take care.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Peace.